Folks, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show, and I'm joined here today by newest member of the Sam band, Alterman.
Karina.
Karina Alterman, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show.
Thank you.
Can you talk about how you learn music? Did you learn by ear before you learned to read?
No, I started by learning to read music.
So where do you feel like the first experience you had where you were able to unlock your ears, like where your ears grew the most on the bandstand?
Such a good question.
You know what it is? Like a lot of cats, I talked to some professors who were guys that grew up playing on the bandstand.
Yeah.
They just say that cats' ears are locked now because they're reading the music, but when you throw it away, they just can't cut it loose. They need that secure. So, I mean, cutting it loose, where do you feel like you stopped playing in fear?
Maybe I started when I was really young, and I feel like I didn't really have much fear at all because I was so young.
And you were good at it, and you just kept kind of growing in. I mean, were you in like small bands?
I was in like band in elementary school and then in middle school, and I was playing like band music with them, but then my dad and my brother were playing jazz, and so I started just playing at home all the time with my dad when I was 11.
What did your pops play?
Piano.
So were you guys playing standards or originals?
Yeah, standards.
Wow.
Lots of standards. And that's really when I feel like a lot of that happened for me, was just playing at home with my dad all the time was unlocked what you're saying, yeah.
Did you recognize at a certain point going back in history that the saxophone was the lead instrument before the guitar? You know, I mean, that to me was profound. Coleman Hawkins and those cats, do you feel like that's going to come back around? I feel like the sax is important to break people's ears open because their ears, my daughters, they listen to a lot of music, so their ears are open, but they still, the minute electronic dance music or electronic beats come on, they groove, right? So the younger generation has had that crunched into their ears, ours too. But I just wonder, ultimately how you've learned to be a conduit for the music to come through you and get out of your own way.
I feel like just jazz, listening to jazz, I feel like that's just so much of Coltrane is the fact that he is just fully spirit, and he's just expressing his spirit through this sound. And just saxophone inherently is such a spiritual instrument because you're using your oxygen, and when you're breathing, deep breathing makes you feel high. And so just playing this instrument and singing, anything that you're using your breath so much, it's a type of high.
It's a meditation.
It's a meditation, exactly. And I feel when I play really hard and I'm not thinking as much, I'm literally able to disappear.
Your brother played upright bass?
No, my brother played guitar.
So who's playing upright?
Nobody.
You were playing guitar, horn, and piano.
Yeah.
No rhythm section.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So do you think that helped your rhythm? I mean, you need to have rhythm. If you're going to have a gig, you need to have rhythm.
Yeah, rhythm, I would say, I was a dancer growing up.
Whoa. So you played sax and you danced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And so I think my rhythm definitely comes from being a dancer. I think that's what dance is rhythm. And so I think that's where mine comes from. And just from my family is just all artistic and musicians and dancers. And so I think that I was kind of just born with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, was your dad a purist in the sense he wanted to, were you ever playing the same song the same way once? It was a different, because you listened to Andrew McGuire, the drummer for you.
Yeah.
I gave him this record. It's a recorder record, but Paul Motion is the drummer on it, and he was in that trio with Bill Evans and Scotty LaFaro, and that trio stuff. And your dad probably was a Bill Evans guy.
Yeah.
And you can listen to a live show of theirs, A side, B side, and it never sounds the same way ever. That's the magic of jazz.
Yeah.
Where did your dad fall in with that?
I would say he was more of a purist. I feel like he was more
play it
how it
don't
is.
take as many bars as you want, just be.
I feel like that Oh, yes, exactly. I was playing so much. I feel like the looseness came more recently.
Sure.
For sure. Because
Yeah.
I like stopped playing for like 10 years. I like played seriously from like 9 to 14, and then I stopped from like 14 to 24. I would play like once a year at Christmas. And then like 5 years ago, I met a ton of new friends. I live in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I met a bunch of new friends there, and they all were musicians. And I was like, wait, like I did that. And so then I started playing again. And I've noticed a huge shift in the last like 2 years of my playing and of this like relaxedness. And I'm just more confident in my playing. And when you're more confident, you're able to let go.
You just sound checked with the Dan Horn
Yeah.
Band, and it was like a groove, man. I mean, ultimately, can you just talk about, this is my last show of the tour.
Yeah.
I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah.
But can you just talk about how cathartic it is just to be, the gigs don't pay anything.
Yeah.
You make some money off the merch table.
Yeah.
It's we're in the Dan Horn van here, and it's like, but still, this to me is unquantifiable healing.
Yeah.
It's not about monetary. And I just wanted you to talk about, for your own sanity, your own mental state, how great it is just to be on the road.
This is my first tour. I've never
Get
been on
out.
tour before. Yeah.
This is the maiden voyage.
Yeah. So it's been amazing. It's really fun and hard, and like it's everybody before like I left, I asked so many friends I'd been on tour, like, what is it like? What should I expect? And everyone all said the same thing about just like be ready to experience the entire range of emotion. And which like makes sense because music gives you the entire range of emotion. So like it's just like I feel like sometimes like the day's hard and we have to deal with shit that happens, but then when we get here we just like get to play music, and it like makes it worth it because we all love playing music so much.
I want to say to you,
yeah,
in 2018, Sam and Dan's still doing Grateful Shred.
Yeah.
And I was in New Mexico. I'll be brief on this. I was on the road, and and I've been hearing about this band Grateful Shred, and they said Hard Rock Las Vegas, and I was in Santa Fe, and I saw a sign on the highway that says Las Vegas. It said 140 miles. I said, yeah, cake. I'm going, baby. Like, I'm going to see this band. That was Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Yeah.
8 hours later, I pull into the Hard Rock, went right into the backstage, and the first cats I met were Sam and Clay.
Wow.
And then Horn was soon to follow, and that was, my life has never been the same. So the fact that this is your first tour, going on tour with these cats.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
So you trust your gut, trust your instinct, and play to the heavens and have a ball because you're in good hands, is
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I feel that way, yeah.
You feel that?
I feel super safe with them, yeah.
Karina, it was such an honor to talk to you.
Thank you, yeah, you too.
It's the Jake Feinberg Show. See you later.